Greetings, traders! In this video, we'll take a look at how you can make up to 20% per day on your deposit using just one tool. I'll show you all the settings, all the life hacks, and after this video, you'll really be able to add 5%, 10%, or even 20% to your deposit. So let's jump right into the video. Look, our very first task is to preserve the deposit. So, first Strangely enough, we start by focusing on preserving our capital as much as possible and, accordingly, coming out ahead. Many traders take huge risks and end up losing half their deposit. We don't want that. So, the very first step is choosing a currency pair. If you choose your currency pair wisely, that's already almost 50% of the success of all your trades. So now, we'll pick a quality currency pair together, and then I'll show you how you can do this on your own. For example, I choose the Euro to Australian dollar currency pair. Here, the movement is fairly calm, meaning this currency pair has normal volatility. That's why I can choose it and, accordingly, request an analysis from BoosterBot. BoosterBot gives me a sell signal, and I immediately open a sell trade. So look, the main criterion is that it doesn't really matter to us what kind of movement we have. The most important thing for us is volatility. So whether we have an upward movement, a downward movement, or even a sideways movement, that's fine with us, we can work with that. The main thing is to make sure there's no chaos on the chart. In other words, we don't want a situation where the currency pair suddenly shoots up, then just stands still with candles closing like that, then suddenly drops sharply, then shoots up again, and then drops sharply again. To avoid that, we just need normal, regular movement. So if you see that the currency pair is behaving normally, we have a regular movement that is readable, that looks good, and you can trade this currency pair with confidence. That way, you're already protecting yourself a lot. For example, I picked a quality currency pair, and right now it's giving me a gain of 26, almost 30 points in my favor. I made an extra $1,800 on my deposit. Again, you can work with different risk levels. For example, if you work with 3 to 5% risk, you'll need to make about 5 to 10 trades to get a 20% profit. That's not a lot at all with a robot. You can do this in literally half an hour, maybe an hour tops. So you just need to spend about an hour focusing on the chart, and you can make a 10 to 20% profit. Next, I'll show you a few more life hacks that will help you feel more confident and earn even more. But first, I want to remind you that we have our VIP channel where we share our signals every day. Right now, you can see these results for yourself. If you want to get the same results and earn money with us, all you need to do is send us a direct message. The link is in the description with the phrase, "I want to become an elite member." Message us and we'll add you to this group where you can simply copy our trades and start earning, even if you have no prior knowledge. Anyway, the link will be in the description. Send the code phrase and you'll be able to join our private channel. Look, here's an example of a currency pair that you should skip. So if you see these kinds of strange movements, like at first, the currency pair shoots up sharply, then there's a sudden drop, then another sharp rise, another sudden drop, and another sharp rise, that's the first sign. Here, the price wasn't moving at all. Then there was another sharp rise, and after that, we had a stretch that was normal. This part was relatively normal, where you could actually work, and then the weird movement started up again. So, if you see this kind of candlestick formation, where the bodies are small and the wicks are really long, it's better to skip those too. Remember that. So, it's really hard to analyze currency pairs like these, and it's very easy to make a mistake. For example, the bot gives you a signal, but your pair just drops into volatility, and as a result, your trade just stays put. That's why it's better to skip situations like that. The next life hack is actually about stability. If you've chosen a currency pair that's already brought you success, you can stick with it and just keep earning from it. This really works because, first of all, the BoosterBot analyzes a single currency pair much better. You don't need to go through a ton of different currency pairs. So, you get the analysis on one currency pair, open a trade, make a profit, wait just a few seconds, and then get a new signal. So, you open a new trade, and you can keep working like this on good currency pairs. You don't need to open a new currency pair. For every new trade, one pair is enough, and you can just stick with it and keep earning. It might seem boring, it might feel a bit off, but it gets results, and that's what matters most. Again, you don't have to risk large amounts. It could be 3%, it could be 5%. all you need to do is just keep opening trade after trade. So choose your own percentage. I still recommend sticking to 3 to 5% if you're a complete beginner. If you already have some experience and you know how to use entry points, then you can go with different percentages. For example, from 5 to 10. So you'll only need a few trades to make a 20% gain on your deposit. By the way, I've already made more than 5%, about 7% just in today's video, and that was with only 2 trades. There's nothing difficult about it. Again, all you need is a ready-made tool like a trading robot. If something isn't clear to you, you can always add, for example, an indicator. It could be the CCI, which will act as a filter for you. And I already have a separate video about this on my YouTube channel, so you can use it as a guide. Yeah, and making 20% a day isn't actually that hard. So what you need is a clear system. For example, you wake up in the morning, or before work, or after work, or even at work, it doesn't matter. You open 4 trades, you get through them, then you take a break. After that, you open another 4 trades, then another break, and then 4 more trades. So, your schedule could look like that. Or maybe you wake up and, say, during the day you open 12 trades, grab your 20%, and then go about your day. Or, as an alternative, in one day you open, let's say, 20, okay, let's make it 25 trades, and then for the next 2 days you don't trade at all, because you've already made, for example, 50% on your deposit. Choose a system that works for you personally. The market is different at different times, so you need to test and try out your own approach. For me, for example, it's convenient to trade a few times throughout the day, not just in one trading session, but to open a few trades in the morning, a few in the afternoon, and a few in the evening. That way, I'm always in tune with the market, and the market is never the same in the morning, afternoon, and evening. It's always changing, and we see different movements. So, if you really want to make 20% a day, all you need to do is activate the robot using the link in the description. But if you want to copy our trades with absolutely no effort, just message us, the link is in the description. Send the code phrase, "I want to become an elite member," and you'll be able to copy our trades. In short, I'm leaving all the useful links in the description. The main thing is to give it a try, and then you'll succeed. See you soon!